ladies and gentlemen, but there's only two gentlemen here. Welcome to the FG meeting. First part is the members of the public may address the Financial General Purpose Committee prior to commencing the meeting. So is there any questions?
Yeah, please. You may well already intend to do it, but when you're discussing items, if you're referring to a budget or a report or something which is being circulated to the councillors, could you give a bit of a comment? Because otherwise we sitting here don't really know what's being discussed.
That's fair enough. Yep. No problem with that at all. Right. First of all, members' declaration. Pecuniary declaration of interest. Members may declare an interest on the agenda which may be declared on other registers or financial interest forms. Is there anybody? B. Non-pecuniary, I can never say that word. Disclose interest. Members declare non-pecuniary at the start of the meeting, whatever may become apparent. Anything in that one? No. Declaration of gifts? No. Right, apologies. So I guess Alan.
Councillors Jolliffe, Moore and Dunn.
Yeah, because they're all allowing. Yeah, correct. Right, first on the agenda, members to consider the parish clerk's job evolution, hours worked, proposals, may make recommendations to the full council. Now, I've just seen this document that's been issued.
Do you want to just mention a couple of things?
Yes, you can do. Carry on. Yes. Yep.
This was a requirement when I got into the job to say we want to look at a job evaluation as to whether we sat within the standard clerk or parish council's level. And this is all about what the clerk controls, whether he controls the village hall, whether he controls parks, burial grounds, and they all add. And depending on the size of the council, whether there's how many councillors there are, how many meetings there are, will give an indication of where the clerk's role sits. And looking at that in discussion with Sarah Mason at Commonwealth Association of Local Councils, it looked as if it was in the LC2 range, and also we looked at the number of hours that the clerk was working, which appeared insufficient on 10 hours a week, and therefore kept a detailed record of the work that I've been doing, and we tried to look at in the fact that I was new to the role, therefore I'm sure there was some inefficiencies in the process as I was learning, and therefore we came up with our proposal was that it would be 12.5 hours a week, and evaluating the current clerk's job, I think I gave 1 point in the LC2 range, so I'm just above the LC2 start base, and it should be paid £12.05 an hour, which is just about on the money for me. So that's something that would need to be evaluated for a new clerk. These were all discussed with Councillors Moore and Francis, and this is the proposal that came out of that meeting. There was also the proposal that instead of being paid weekly, that we paid on a monthly basis, and that's the reason for the calculation there. Because if you pay every 4 weeks, by the end of the year you've probably missed out on 4 weeks' pay as a clerk, so it's important to gross it up. So if you like, the paper here is basically saying that the job role is within an LC2 scale. Clerk's weekly hours are 12.5. The pay rate is exact for me as a clerk. The clerk's pay would therefore be 54 hours a month. And those are the main proposals. And with my contract, 6-monthly contract up in the at the end of October. There'll be an advert in the Cornish Guardian and parish newsletter.
Thank you very much. Right, gentlemen, you've had hopefully a chance to read through this. Any comments? I mean, please, any comments? One thing I was surprised actually is that you were salary paid anyway. I mean,
That I was.
not salary paid. People still get paid weekly in that, don't they? I don't know.
It seems to be the way.
It's a temporary position. Yeah, I suppose. Temporary.
You still be a temporary position. It just depends how you work. It's a 4-week weekly pay.
Well, I think it's a well laid out document, and as Bernie there said, you know, I think Bernie would like to propose it, and I'll second it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good
Is that any
basis.
I do. It's
Right, so proposers seconder, and looks like everybody agrees to it as well. So I'll recommend that in the full council meeting in a
Okay.
fortnight, sir. Right, next list on the agenda is members to consider proposal of the parish benches and recommendations to full council. Yeah, John and I have kind of been working on this. Ian's nicely put together a document, which is what it is right here. John's just mentioned it, some of these aren't quite right, so we've just got to do a little bit of tweaking, but we need to sort something out about the benches, and we're hoping to sort of put some money aside next year to start doing some serious work on them. But your comments on this document and what you think we should be doing or not doing differently, possibly or possibly not. Do we do them up, or do we replace them with new?
Replace with new is just as economical.
Sorry, yes.
You're calling them assets. They're not assets, they're liabilities. It's a load of rubbish. They've got to be replaced.
Yeah.
90% of them have got to be replaced. Well, let's stop calling them assets. They're just an embarrassment. So let's get rid of them and put some new ones in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but unfortunately they've been classed as assets and audited assets, so we've got to accept that they are assets, even though the term is
ever so loose.
This document sums up the cost and repairs of all the seats. There's some seats here which are not ours. I've got a photograph of every seat in the parish, and to tie in with this document, so I suggest Bernie and I and Toby get together to finalise this document with the pictures I got of all the seats and the pictures of the land we own, and we tie it up in the asset register with the correct pricing for the next audit, which will be next year.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what to do this on this audit with the benches, because they're given to them, they're an asset. They call them an asset, even though they're not really an asset.
But that's the ruling from the council is from the council of records and everything is that the asset has to be valued at its purchase price. You do not operate as a business where you subtract a certain percentage
No.
of degradation.
That's understood, but the whole thing is a joke.
Yeah.
So with the benches,
Yes.
there are some which are in a dangerous condition. They need to be knocked down straight away without any further discussion.
Yeah, we need to. Well, what we'll have to do is try and get someone in to do that. I'm just hoping that we'll have a chance. But we thought we'd have a chance to do it, but we just can't. I haven't got time to do it.
No.
There you go.
well, that was the point I was going to make. If you give me a location, even if you want it all dragged out, I'll drag it out, even if it's the ones at the hills.
You will?
Yes. Don't worry about the fact it's a heavy lump of concrete.
Well, they are full of reinforcing.
So if they need to be gone, say we've been discussing it. We've been discussing it all year now.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of them.
Well, I don't. We've got to make a recommendation to the full council, but in this instance, I think we'll tell the full council, whichever numbers they are, they were dangerous. We've dealt with them. So there's a space there ready for
Ready
next
for
year.
new
Next year's
new one to be put in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So next year's rolling programme can start.
Yeah.
There's only one thing I would add to that. If they've got to be removed, we might have to remove the retaining bolts, or cut the retaining bolts.
Yeah,
Let's stick those
Yeah.
up.
That would be
With a
Yeah,
small generator.
I've got a generator.
Yeah, it's a generator and just
whatever it needs.
Do it.
Just do it.
Um,
No cost to the parish council.
No cost of transfer. We just do it.
Which ones?
I
Right.
know.
John?
Sorry,
Yeah. Which ones? The one that stands out first of all for disposal is the one at the end of Carn Hill, the furthest one away, underneath North Downs footpath. That one is.
There's one there that's got nothing in it at all.
It's got nothing in it at all. That one will be number 23.
On the list we've got at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, on the list we've got at the moment, 23 needs coming down.
Right.
That is the only definite one. And a couple of them in the hills between 19 and 22. There might be one or two of them. But until I go back to the photographs, I'll give Adrian a copy of the photographs.
Yeah.
So that will be 3 new seats. 3 200s, if you say, £600 for next year's budget to replace seats.
Yeah.
So that'd be a start of a rolling programme to replace the seats in a dangerous condition.
Yeah.
Adrian?
And at least the minutes will reflect it, and then we can advertise that there's 3 spaces for seats if people want to donate a new seat.
Yeah, I read that.
We can,
There might be people that might want to.
Yeah.
so, you know, at least they'll know between now and next year there's the opportunity.
Try and get something moving so that beginning of the next season we've got...
Because we got a costing to replace the seat.
Yes. If we assume that is the best way to get that type of seat's fine, though, do you think or not? Does it matter if it's brown or black? I mean,
Considering the last seats that were replaced were up at the 450 mark.
yeah,
I think the price of the seat here of £186 is quite reasonable price.
I say the ones I looked at.
Saving at nearly £200.
Yeah, I was quite surprised when they came out with it.
Have you taken costing of actually refurbishing one, John, against replacing the new
Well,
one?
no, we're on about replacing the ones that are in a dangerous condition.
Fine.
broken
But
down.
also, have we taken costing where we're saying that we're going to paint some, repaint them,
Oh, no,
redo
don't
them?
go down that road.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's do the dangerous ones first. It's a rolling programme, so we start with the dangerous and work to improve it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Right, shall we suggest that we try and kind of get together again? I don't know when time is obviously against our side, and sort of I'll have someone with us to give us some idea of what, if it's a total repaint or repairable, or because the other option is you can actually buy the plastic inserts, so the actual concrete bits are all right. You just replace the
It's the slats.
slats. Is that? I mean, the one is that?
We can buy the slats.
I mean, you looked into, we did, or kind of looked into that for a minute, didn't we? But it's just finding the right size to make sure they fit, but they're all different. This is a problem.
Once again, it's the cost of taking them apart, buying the planks and then reassembling them.
Well, several of them won't cost much because the wooden dowels are onto the pins and they're widening. If you go at ESSA, the one on ESSA, the wooden dowels have disappeared and it's gradually widening.
Yeah, that's the axis of
But
it.
you still cannot get them in without removing one end.
Oh, that's right. You
Or
just
two
got to leave
or
them
both
in back, yeah.
Because they tried to do that the other side of ESSA, and whoever cut them has cut the tenons short.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So they're slacker.
Yeah.
So you cannot do it without removing one end to make them tight, Joe.
So unless you do it an old chippies way, when you do your actual tenon and you slide them in, instead of the tenon being that length, you make an extra tenon, you make it an extra longer by a couple inches, so to slide in, slide through, and then you slide back and saw off and drop your dowel in.
Yeah, but
Then
you're
you've
getting
still got
plastic
one
here, not
short.
wood.
No, you haven't.
All right.
Sorry,
By just making them that little bit longer, you can slide it in and push it back and drop your dowels in and trim it.
hopefully we can get someone to look at it and give us some sort of idea. I mean, are we happy with this?
What?
Sorry.
Yeah, what I was just saying I think, deal with what's dangerous. If there's, go around, reassess. If it just needs a lick of paint, or there's a tender for next year, somebody to paint.
Yeah.
The ones that look like, well, actually it's going to be more than just painting, that can be the ones to be looked at removing for next year and then replacing in the 2016-17.
Yeah, I'll ask the clerk a minute. Ian, have we got a figure in the budget penciled in roughly how much you think we could spend on the benches next year?
Well, if you've got 1,800 in this year,
Yeah.
and I'd assume that considering
We could roll over.
you put 800 originally in the budget this year, so perhaps if you went with 800, you might be able to do some refurbishments.
So we could roll over this figure into next year's budget.
Not roll it over, but you just take another.
They were a chunk.
Yeah, you're going to say we will put aside this amount.
Yeah.
Well,
Carry on.
if you look in your records and find which benches have been refurbed in recent times.
Yeah, well, we did. Yeah, John and I got.
What did you find?
Not many of them. There's more new. There's like the new ones are probably there's been a few new ones put in, but you know.
When was it painted and sat on? Dates?
Oh, we have got no idea about that. There's
Well,
no
maybe
idea
that'll be
about
in the
it.
records.
No, there isn't anything.
Nothing in the records. This is we have to get from one of the contractors.
Oh, all right.
Anyway.
The records are devoid.
Right, so are we going to propose that this document is
You was spent
forward to the council? We'll try and will you be able to have time this week to amend the discrepancies, John, or not? Between when's the next meeting, parish council meeting? 2 weeks time. 29th. Would you have time to have it done then, so we can update it, or?
What did you want to update?
Oh, this apparently some of these names, the list I gave you isn't there.
Oh, is it not?
No, there is a disc somewhere that got lost between Gillian, Kevin, and yourselves. So the list I gave you, that I thought was the top list on my computer, wasn't. John said he's got a more up-to-date list of, because he's found out a bit more information. But we thought we had the same thing, but we didn't. But there was a disc burning, it was given to Gillian, and I don't know if Gillian still got it or she gave it to Kevin. It doesn't matter. It's only a disc. So I just.
Okay.
I reckon.
So what is tell me what the proposal is that we're then going to ask to be done.
Monday, what day is that? 60, this coming Monday is the 23rd, is convenient for me. If you give me a list of the most important benches to dismantle, that'll be done.
Where should we get this from then?
John will forward me which ones need to be removed.
We'll propose that Adrian's already volunteered to remove the ones that are dangerous for a mojo, and I suggest that we.
So John will advise,
yeah. And we'll make the proposal that we buy some new benches.
To replace the ones we're going to take?
Yeah, to replace the bad ones. And we'll have to try and reassess to see how much exactly needs to do on each bench, and then we'll go forward either with the repairs or a new bench.
Do you want me to go back to the supplier that got them at £200 roughly, and ask him whether he does them that bolts into existing concrete? Should I do that as well?
He probably, yeah. I would have thought so. They come with it. I would have thought so, yeah. If you could do that, thank you very much. Yeah. Try any more on that one? Yeah, so someone propose a second that, please? I'll propose it. Second, yeah. Anybody in agreement? Yeah, right, next one's down here. Asset register, consider review prior to the end of the 2014 financial year, Councillor Wakeham. Well, I did do one, but there is now, obviously there's going to be a bit more land and stuff put to it, that hopefully this bench and everything could be more updated than what we've got. Because nothing else has changed, we haven't been given anything else, have we? As far as I'm aware anyway.
No.
And if we could get the old and new benches more accurately sorted out, to go around and double check all the salt bins are ours or not ours. So, Mr. Chairman did mention that some of the bins may not be ours or may be ours, so we'll have to just have an update before the end of the year. I can't see any point in putting any more else to it, or even got else, have we?
Well, I suppose we've got to wait for highways to find out if they own any. Nobody knows.
So,
Isn't there anything in our records to show
Have you
what
got
we
the
own
list?
and what we don't own?
not even a price for it.
No? So that remains.
It's just something that there was an original document which I went through and I sort of copied basically what it said, but there's no actual written evidence or receipts that we can find to prove that we actually own them.
Ones that I can guarantee the parish council put. There's one in the car park, Bedinick, up from the ferry.
Yeah.
There's one just in the entrance there. The one up Whitecross.
Yeah, I've actually moved that. I was asked to move
Yeah, the
that.
one that said you move. There's one at Ferris Way now, isn't there?
Ferris Way, that was the spare one.
Yeah.
Do we put one aside?
The one on the bottom corner, down on 4th Street, the one at the top of Greenbank. I'm not sure what the deal is with that one there. There was a big one there and it got changed outside the WI. Whether that was a parish council swap over job,
But didn't I remember we bought some? One was going outside the school, is that right? Or not?
we haven't bought one.
We haven't bought
said
one.
yes to it.
We
but-
said yes to it, but we never purchased it.
Right.
And the spare one got put up Ferris Way.
Well, perhaps we'll look at that a bit further down the list here in a minute. Right, so I mean the asset list has really changed. We'll update it before the end of the financial year. We'll obviously there'll be 2 or 3 benches that will be new because we're replacing them.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what else to say to that really, to be honest. Because nothing's changed on it. We don't own any more land, it doesn't depreciate, does it? Because it doesn't work like that.
Actually, at the end of the year, our assets would have gone down for the benches that have been removed. And it will go until next year when we purchase the new ones.
Very true. Yeah, for the audit, yeah, very true.
Right.
Yeah.
Why don't, if somebody could tell me where they believe all the salt bins are, as you
Yes.
just described them all, if anybody can think of any others, then let me know and I will produce a list to go with this and include the full list of the benches as well to go with the asset list.
So you want a list of salt bins.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 that need replacing.
Well, you can put that on the list as
Yeah.
well. Say if you believe that they're not in a workable condition, and then I'll produce the list.
Because there's one down at Ronald Keys.
Ronald Keys,
But I don't know whose that belongs to, but there's nothing left of it.
that one needs replacing.
But is that ours?
Well, we've got to see where is the evidence that it's not ours.
I know we'll come on to the Stone Line plan in a minute, but I think probably a sensible way forward when it comes to it is if they need replacing, we may as well take responsibility for it because waiting for highways to do anything
Is a waste of time.
we might as well just say we'll do it. If highways, because again, highways have been around last year and I filled them all up, even if they were ours, they needed topping up. So
I'll just say we put that on the agenda, we replace that one down there because that is a very icy patch all along there.
For poor Ronald, yeah.
And that is essential for anybody, for all users that corner.
Right, so I'll make a list out in my place. What's out in the sticks, out in the wild country.
Yeah.
And if you do the ones in town, and then we'll go back to Ian for the next meeting.
Right.
You happy with that, Ian?
Yeah.
Right, I must remember to do that. I thought I made this, but it's not. So.
Right, so that's the...
Right, that's C, right. We don't need to make a proposal for that, really, do you know? Right, banking arrangements update from the clerk.
I've had confirmation that we do have a new bank account open with Barclays, and seeing as they've written to me, I assume that they've accepted that the correspondence addresses to me as clerk. We haven't got any funds in there, and we could start using it, but we would obviously have to transfer all the finances in. So perhaps that might be a proposal to take 2.
Yeah, full council. Yeah,
I live with you.
definitely, yeah. Yeah, so can we propose, or someone would like to make a proposal that we move our funds from
I'll propose.
the Lights and Leicester?
We can do that. We can do that in the main meeting.
You can do that in the meeting? Yeah, okay, no worries.
I'll put it on the agenda.
Yeah, if you could, yeah. And, right, next one is the update of external audit. What's that one? Is that
I just sent I sent a note out to you all concerning the completion of the audit and with the auditor's comments. That does conclude the audit of the external auditor, and the only comment was that we should have had an engagement letter for the independent auditor. That doesn't seem to have happened, but it's something we should have, and we'll do it before appointing the internal auditor for next year.
we had an email, but not a proper letter, so that was the
Yeah.
problem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The email
It's
didn't
not
come.
signed.
Okay, thank you very much. Right, next one, F. Update snow and ice plan. Yeah. I wasn't actually involved with the committee to start with, but you approached a couple of farmers, haven't you? And, well, a farmer, and they're not interested in insuring. And I inquired with us at home on our insurance, and our insurance won't look at it either. So, any suggestions, chaps, what we can and can't do? Any good?
I think we should just forget pestering farmers and asking them to grip the road, because it
Yeah,
They don't want to do it.
No.
They don't want the money.
I think
Because our insurance, which Councillor Francis negotiated, insures a person with a vehicle to grit our roads. He will be covered under our insurance.
I think a sensible way forward, and will probably be a fairly easy one to budget going forward, if we purchased, say, like another 3 tonne of grit in the dumpy bags, transfer it into, carry it into the smaller bags and position in sensible places around the parish to accompany the grit bins, so in between, and then we'll just have to make sure people, if they want to drive in icy weather or snowy weather, they're going to have to use a bit of common sense, stick a shovel in their car, be prepared to chuck a bit of grit around themselves if needs be.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, I leave home in the mornings at 5 o'clock to go to work, snow and ice thing. I mean, I've got 4 before, I'm not concerned. But
Well, that's
at the end of
it,
the day, it's down to the individual, isn't it?
That's it. There are people with 4x4s in the village who have, with the pickup like you, with the open back, who again go around and chuck it around out the back. Well, we know it's happening. We're not asking them to do it, so
No.
I think we should, if it gets gritted, all well and good, but people, we live in a rural area, are just going to have to take a bit of responsibility for themselves.
As soon as we can't engage contractors to do the job for us, then I'm afraid we just have to drop the plan and just ensure the grit bins are full.
Yeah.
And a few, say, sensible places
Or
on
as
verges.
say 2 dumpy bags. Soon as we've had so much trouble with the salt up the Beverley car park and the town trusted letters, I was wondering if Whitecross, the back of Whitecross Village Hall there, we could keep, say, 2 dumpy bags up there. And then, like Agent's proposal, nip and fill up
I was happy to chuck it.
25k sacks,
Happy to chuck it in
and
the
on
trailer.
a rolling basis, top up the grit bins as necessary.
Yeah, so, yeah, Barney, you got any ideas or thoughts?
The Beverley car parks, I know them. It's obvious. Yeah, I would have thought Whitecross would be the best solution. You know, I was bloody good.
And it's easy for the council lorry to drop the dumpy bag using his eye-app straight over the wall into the corner.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure they'll be happy about that, because they obviously have people in there and children running around and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It really needs to be behind a cage or something.
It needs to be fenced off, doesn't it? Which is another cost.
Well, it just shows what a chaos it's been before, John, with the salt being stored at Simon Palmer's, being shifted to Meadow Close, from Meadow Close to Beverley Car Park. It's more than the blessed salt's worth.
Yeah.
So one has to realise that when you get a ton dumpy bag, it takes a moving job.
Yeah, but like Adrian says,
you know, and you also have to have the facility to be able to store it in the dry, not in the wet. Really, in the dry is better than having it outside. All right, when you chuck it in the bins, it's there, but under normal circumstances, you see these big grip bins throughout the countries, and most of the time it's kept in closed containers to stop it deteriorating.
We could negotiate with Waycross Village Hall.
A
Little storage
Yeah, but
in the corner of the wall. It don't take much to erect. You've got these plastic waste bins there the size of your tables, and like Adrian said, we went up there and we emptied 3 dumpy bags by ourselves and bagged them up. So it don't take much to empty 1 dumpy bag with shovels, bag it into 25k bags, seal them, and place them in a secure stowage. You know, the public, if they want the roads gritted, then people have all got to help.
Perhaps the council might be able to, would the council supply someone we could keep it?
No, not them.
The county council?
There's no council land left apart from the lay by beside the campsite.
Well, why can't we put it there? Why can't we put it in the lay-down area? Can be shelter.
Or ask the National Trust we can keep it. I mean, wherever we're going to put it, it's never going to be the right place.
Keep it inside the National Trust logbook there.
Yeah.
Adrian.
Well, going to, obviously we need a proposal for the next meeting then. Why don't we, between us all then, look and ask around where would a sensible place be for storage, but take this as the proposal. We'll get grit, bag it up smaller into manageable bags to be positioned, and for topping up the grit bins. Yes, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
One more. Has anyone looked into buying it bagged?
Well, I just assumed that was good. Yeah, you can buy it obviously in 25 kilo bags, but on the pallet.
So if you've got a pallet, then if it's in pallets, I could store it in my house. To be honest, I dare say I could trust someone's on to store it in.
Plus the fact that secure storage you suggest to be 2 Gabion baskets would easily take a dumpy bag.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of Gabion baskets.
Maybe we could ask the clerk and get some in it. Maybe we can find out if we can buy like 2 dumpy bags, but buy them already bagged up, by the weight, not the big dumpy bags. And then if they come on pallets, I can unload them easy enough and drop them in a truck, and we could drop around. You know, maybe
it's easier to pick them up ready bagged, John, and start bagging stuff up.
If it's cost effective.
But I mean, is the salts that are in the salt bins laying around various areas? Is it good enough to chuck on the road? Do we need to replace it, or do you just need to top it up?
Top it up.
I think it's better than no salt.
But
So you've got to look at...
it's easier to go back and, like I'm saying, if you can get 25 kilo bags, to go there, pick up 4 or 5 kilo, 25 kilo bags, dump them in the back of your boot or whatever the case may be, and drop them all, rather than go there, fill 2 or 3 bags, take them away. You know, it's the time and effort.
To be probably more efficient in the long run if we bought them already in small bags that people can handle. To be fair,
but that's,
I think something that we'll just have to expect. If people are taking them because they want to do their drive or pass their house, we'll just have to say, well, fair enough if you're doing that, but make sure you do the road on the, what you can.
they can go over the buckets.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are we proposing then?
That the clerk investigates the price of the dumpy bags as opposed to the 25 kilo bags on a pallet.
Price of a pallet of 25 kilo bags. That'd be a ton. Be the
Ton
same
for
weight as a
ton.
dumpy bag.
Ton for ton, yeah. Makes sense.
Dumpy bag.
I'll put it on the agenda for the full council meeting.
Yeah, they'll have to. Yeah.
And I'll put something together on prices.
Great, thanks very much.
And that the snow and ice plan will be that we will supply the grit for the public to use.
Well, that is it.
And that they plan their journey ahead. Simple as that.
Well, we've had more, don't they?
No contractor will take it on. So
This has been going on for 4 years now and nothing's come of it.
So in a country where it's colder, it's obviously financially viable for actual contractors to tow these things beyond their car, isn't it? Beyond their 4x4. schools, we get a snowy night and half a day of slippery, don't we? On the list.
Right, correct.
So that's the bit.
Right. Next one. Mr. Vic Truman, contractor list.
I did.
You did one for
Pat.
Oh, Pat's got it.
Pat has a list of the ones that I would assume would be worth contacting. But do we go further afield by advertising it elsewhere? But that's up to the full council to decide.
Is this for odd jobs and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. It depends on the work, doesn't it? If it's
Because I'm sure there's a list of plumbers and chippies and stuff. Must have been something else that was lost in the transition
Well,
between.
we could advertise on our website, anybody wishing to contract with the Parish Council for minor
It's not
remedial
No,
works,
it's not.
please send your details into the clerk.
I think this is just more of an emergency thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If the toilet seat's broken, what do we phone?
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Did you do it on a computer or did you do it by hand?
I think I emailed it to her, but it's so long back.
Well, Pat's away, unfortunately.
Because when we took over, everything was in chaos.
If you haven't, let us
So
know, then we'll try and put something together. That's
we didn't have a list of anything.
I was surprised when it came out, actually.
The only reason it came up was because I was requested to look at the actions from previous meetings and make sure that they were being moved forward.
Ah, right. So what do we want? A temporary builder, a chippy, electrician, a plumber. That's about it, really?
A couple.
A couple of each. Right.
And then there was, I think I gave her a list of 3 plumbers, 2 chippies,
And it's
then
emergency.
3 masons, so...
It's emergency.
Well, if you can have a nursery, if you can find that email, could you email Ian?
Well, if not, I'll just give them, I can memorise what, what was put down,
Okay.
so...
Do that half pages and then you got. uh,
I shall get on the list for the moment.
Right, next one. Update on key lighting and winter openings.
I'll do that. If you're happy with that.
Yes, certainly.
Key lighting, I did have a contact there who admitted that South West Water were going to do something about the key lighting. I've chased them twice since then and don't seem to be going anywhere. So I've actually used the contact we had who came here, Peter, what's his name?
Hocking.
Yes. And I said, did he know either of the 2 people, the 2 names that I got? And he said, yes, he did, and he's going to give them a kick. So I thought that was very kind of him, but I haven't heard anything since then. Both of these are quite important with nights drawing in. Winter opening of key toilets. I just received something from Edwina saying that we're going into the winter routine, and I will go back to her tomorrow and say it's very kind of you to remind me of that, but I have been trying to get the figures from John and James, the exact figures for the disabled toilet to keep it open so that I can contact the Land Trust, which is what we agreed, and they don't seem to be able to produce just those figures.
We've got an email here from Fran the cleaner,
Yep.
Fran's blog. Apparently the disabled toilet which we wish to use is our winter toilet. Has had the seat torn from the wall. It's not been repaired.
Well, here.
No,
On the key. And that is the toilet we wish to keep open for winter open hours. And also, it's not our toilet, but we were willing to enter an agreement with the town trust financially to keep that disabled toilet open as a unisex toilet for the winter. However, it's been vandalised and it's at present it's still shut.
Well, until the town trust get back to the council, I can't say, or we get the figures in it, Cornwall Council, then we get in touch with the. We can't do anything and
But
waste not breath
have we got
talking
any
about it.
correspondence from the town trust on the?
It's not. You don't. It's not a town trust. This is about getting the figures from Cornwall Council, so that they can confirm how much it's going to be, and then the town trust have kindly said that they would support some of the costs involved with opening the toilets for the winter. But until I can't define the money until I get.
But I thought our arrangement with John James were that we could enter into a private agreement with a cleaner to open this toilets, and he was quite happy with that. Not get involved in a financial merry-go-round with markup of what the county council charge on cleaning their toilets when you go through Melomelo in Cormac.
It's nothing to do with cleaning. There's
That's
certain other costs,
that's
like water, electric, which is the issue.
Well, I think that should be minimal.
Well, you never know.
You don't know, John. It could be 25 quid. It could be 40 grand. You don't know, do you? Till we get it in paper, I don't trust anybody.
Well, that's right. I fully agree with you.
So until you get it down in black and white, don't believe a word of it. Until we get A, then we can go to B, and when we got A and B together, we can make a decision on C.
So can we chase John James up?
Well, my last chasing was the 8th of September.
Sorry, Adrian.
Well, I was going to say, obviously we haven't got a recommendation to take forwards with this because we can't.
You can.
But if Ian would be kind enough to find that, if you
Try
find the
keep
time.
plugging away at it, and we might be able to have something in a few months' time. I know winter's coming, but we can't help it. We can't make a decision.
The other bit, the last bit of Fran's blog is we could make a decision now and pass it on as a recommendation. She would like us to close St Saviour's toilets at 6 p.m. in the winter, not 8.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think that's reasonable.
No, but that's something different again, isn't it? Sure, that's
That's all part of the toilets.
Not key to
No, not
No,
key
it's winter opening. Winter opening, winter opening the toilets.
No, it's just the key
Oh, I
toilet.
don't really like that. But no.
It's key toilets.
Updates on key lighting and material.
Yeah, well, I'll have to go in front of the full council. I mean, I've got
Yeah,
got a problem with
yeah.
that.
But we would be
agenda,
happy
can't
to
it?
close St Saviour's WC toilets at 6 o'clock in the winter.
Yeah,
see why not.
that's reasonable.
And then that's Fran's blog put to bed, isn't it?
Yep. That's their concerns. Sorry.
So, yeah, there's no proposal. I think there's no point proposing anything. is there? No. Right, last thing on the list is list of parish council policies and other documents to be confirmed the full list, which is, I think,
I sent it out. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
No, we'll come back to that.
No,
Yeah, we can those.
Oh, sorry, I've read it.
have you seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
Is there any queries on there that
The planning committee terms of reference.
I did find them this evening, actually.
I was just saying, if you didn't have them, and if they did it, well, they would have been updated at the same time as at the annual meeting. They didn't change from last year.
I couldn't find a copy of that with my
they'll be on electronic animal?
But I now have it. I did find it this evening.
So you have it up, electronic, hard.
Electronic and hard.
Wonderful. Is it? And it's on the website as well.
Investment policies and running.
No investment.
No, that's true. On hard facts.
I basically just somebody to confirm that if you confirm that is the full list, then that was what was
Well,
required.
if everybody is happy with that, then
It's just that on every one of those documents, they all need updating. Their last update for all of them are out of date. Starting from the start standard orders,
Why is that?
May
today?
14,
why is that out of date, John?
because we've got rid of public participation. That come under standard orders.
We never changed it.
It's never on there in
It
the
was
first
only
place.
evidence
It
for
was just made up. If you read the standard
public participation at the end was just something that the old council did. It was never a standard
We've got
order.
a standing order.
But have they been reviewed? And if they've been reviewed, they should be updated.
No, we did. We sat here with Helen.
Because they had a meeting, they were
Right,
reviewed.
so the financial committee terms of reference, last update was the 6th of 13. I think they've been reviewed since then.
Well, they were accepted at the annual meeting, so yeah, that one needs to just be changed.
Till the 5th.
Planning committee terms of reference, has that ever had an update?
Yes, that was agreed at the
He's not said about that one.
that was agreed at the annual meeting.
Communications policy, 5th of 14. Now, does
That's the annual meeting.
this use of the camera come under communications?
Yeah, but
Well,
that's
that's understanding orders anyway.
It's
Well,
understanding
in that case, it should be updated.
it is
it is.
understanding orders.
Yeah, but the 5th of the 14th, it is now the 9th of the 14th. And this man's sitting here with a camera.
But standing orders,
The standing orders, it covers it all. There's a bundle in it, John. Did you give that document to Helen? It was like 30 odd pages.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
got
sorry.
that.
standing orders, if you recall, I did send out an email which had the new rules on recording in meetings, and I said that it would be an agenda item for the full council because we would need to have new standing orders.
So those will be going to be updated. And
Well, I
Be
said in the email
alterated,
that we
yeah.
would be on the agenda
Right.
for the next meeting.
communications policy.
That's what I was about to bring up. I know, I wasn't. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah, sorry, carry on, Adrian.
No, sorry, I'm ahead of John. I was going on to complaints, but carry on.
I suggest we all look at these last updates and review them and bring it up at the council at a full meeting. To me, several of them look to be behind the times.
But it's our job as FP to go through every individual.
Well, we just recommend, don't we? We don't make decisions.
So we just recommend that we do actually go through it all and...
Look
Well,
at the
there's
last
only-
I
updates.
thought some of it was already... maybe... List of T's and other legal documents held.
What I've done here is put last update. That doesn't mean to say it was necessarily the approval date on the 5th. May not have been. So, for instance, if we didn't change the planning committee or the F and GP terms of reference, the last update was a 6/13, but it was looked at
It was, yeah.
in the annual.
That annual parish meeting we went through, Helen spent hours.
Yes.
One of the F&G meetings, we went through it all, didn't we? We were for hours doing it.
That's right. So then,
But I mean, that's the last time's update. So what you're saying is that we need to say update them from now, or are we going to
Update it
recommend
when
that we
they
go
were
through them
reviewed.
again next year?
yeah.
Is it every 6 months
Every
we have
6.
it down that they should be reviewed?
Right. Okay.
I think that's. I know that's because that's what I was going to say about the complaints. Because I wanted to say at the annual meeting that we accept it, but because it was only 3 months old
Mhm.
at the time, they said no. Well, so that one's out of sync with everything else in the list anyway.
It is.
So
That needs to be.
Plus,
it needs to be brought. I don't think it needs changing. It's worded perfectly well.
yeah.
So I would recommend that the complaints procedure is
Adopted.
and brought into line with the same review as everything else.
Yeah. And I suppose also with all modern technologies coming along, we're going to have to try and keep on top of all the things anyway.
Actually, complaints policy is on the web now anyway, isn't it? So
Yeah. There's a thing on the website for that now. We've done asset register. We're going to update it for the end of the year. Risk assessment. That was done only a little while ago with Kevin, wasn't it, when he went to insurance.
That was looked into when we had all the other bits, wasn't it?
I can't see code of conduct. I know that doesn't change as such, but induction pack. That's the induction pack. You get that from CALP as and when we get a new councillor, is
I
it?
say we had that sent through in the post, didn't we? When we first, before the annual meeting in May, I'm sure I had some information on it. I never got it. No, it's code of conduct. Right.
We all had a panel when we started, didn't we?
All these electronic copies were held in a strong box anyway, aren't they?
I've got electronic copies
of all the on a computer, or is they also backed up on disk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and hard copies.
Yeah.
And the hard copies that were reviewed in the annual parish meeting are signed.
Yeah.
So is the disc? Is there an updated disc put in the strong box every month? So when the months
Probably
accounts and months of
Probably every
figures,
3 months.
every 3. Well, I'd like to see a month.
After every meeting,
every meeting,
burn another disc.
throw in another disc with checks paid and the state of the month's accounts. Because otherwise you'll be 3 months out if the computer throws a wobbly.
You're almost better off buying a memory stick for that rather than a disc.
Well, a memory stick or a disc, some form of information holder. It doesn't take 2 seconds to plug a memory stick in. You can change them every month.
Well, I think I would propose that we accept the list of documents, that the complaints policy be brought in line with the rest and reviewed at the same time as all the other documents. I believe it every 6 months.
Yeah.
Makes sense from now. And that obviously the standing orders will be discussed at the next council meeting anyway, with the new.
Which will take them out of sync then.
Which
You've got a date. Yeah, that's the only problem with that.
well, no, so it'll still be 6 monthly, won't it? Because we'll be reviewing standing orders at the next full meeting, which will then bring everything in line with that.
What is the code?
So it'll be September, October, December, January, February is the next review.
And none of you a code of conduct one. There's nothing that you know because we haven't.
I have the electronic copy of the code,
Which is also on the standing orders, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the code of conduct's in the parish councillor's handbook. It's held by county.
I just don't have an electronic copy in my files, that's why I put it on here. And it should really be on the web.
It should
as well.
It should be on the web. Best place to ask would be ask county or Sarah Mason to provide an updated code of conduct for
But
councillors.
it almost wants to go with the complaints one, doesn't it? Decide it on a website so people can say, well, look.
Because the code of conduct was going to include the clerk, which we're allowed to do. It's part of his
Well,
contract.
I'm just looking to get one.
Yeah, from someone. Helen, to be honest, you might have a word with Helen because she might have something already. You know, she seems to have quite a bit.
What we have got now, John, is a lot more than what we had.
Yeah,
when
we
took
took say
over.
it's more than we've had. That's for sure.
I don't know, update this is what we said,
Yeah,
and then take it to the next meeting.
yeah, and there needs to be full council on these items. It's
Right.
a big meeting now, isn't it? Right. Information on any future agendas items, or is there anything we for the F and G not ready? We'll get told what we need to look at, won't we? We'll just all we can do is update. We'll try and go through what we've discussed. And the next thing is the next meeting.
Next FGP meeting.
It'll be December. Do you do it quarterly?
Well, we don't know. I mean, we seem to.
I thought you were on about going quarterly, weren't you?
Well, we need to get together, obviously, way before.
January is like the best bit.
Yeah, after Christmas maybe, because things are ramping up on it. So.
We've got budget, set in precinct.
Sorry.
Setting the budget in precept, yeah.
Yeah. When did you do that? That will be the next meeting.
Yeah, what is that?
November sometime.
Is it?
But that's when the clerk sets the budget.
That's too much time.
But then you've got to discuss it.
We got to discuss it.
Then set it out.
First week of January, really.
Well, what date?
It's first, second week in January.
Second.
We went to say second week in January.
I've got it too far.
Yeah, we got
too
to
close
close to
to
the
that.
country now, haven't
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not exactly
People
sure.
will be on holiday.
we?
Why don't I find out?
Well, what we'll do is we'll have a next meeting. We'll have a discussion, find out exactly what information we need to know, and then we'll get back to people when the next meeting will be.
So if we pencil in second week of January then?
When?
Second week of January.
No, it's got to be November.
Is it?
I'm not
Budget sake.
For the pre
sorry, my apologies, I'm not sure exactly when it is that we need to set that, so I will look at that and then I'll send something out to say this is when it needs to be, so you need to decide to have another meeting. Alright? I don't know what,
No.
sorry, I don't know what it is.
No, you're right. I don't know. That's all right about that. So, I'd like to close the meeting at 8:26.